Hey there, folks. This is the Gauntlet Reading Club, and today we are going to be beginning playing our run of Hearts of Wulin, inspired by Tasha Suri's The Jasmine Throne. Before starting in on things, I want to do a quick round of introductions for folks watching. Also, this is also for us because I know it's been 2 weeks since we made these characters, so people probably need a quick reminder about what they are, about who everyone is playing. So we'll start with me, and then we'll just follow the character keeper order. I am Steven, he, him. I am GMing this run of Hearts of Wulin. I'm playing the most of the world. I'm not playing a particular character, but I look forward to seeing how the very complicated entanglements we created last session come up into play. So let's see, kind of opening on Jolene, if you could introduce yourself, your pronouns, and who you're playing.
Hey, I'm Jolene, she, her. I'm playing Dancing Magpie, also she, her, of the Temple of Hidden Labors. She's the traveling teacher that, acts like she hates teaching, but she loves it. She's the normal one, I think, of the group, the non-mystical one, so that should be fun.
Cool. And Brandon, do you want to introduce yourself, your pronouns, and who you're playing?
Absolutely. Hi, I'm Brandon, he. I am playing Black Jade, she, who is a devoted servant to Jade Starlight, and who is secretly a Lamia, a monster who is, for a monster, has the curse of love for people. She killed, in the past, she killed Crimson Moonlight by accident with the force of her love, and then came forth into the world of people to fill the void left by his absence after a period of mourning. If if you look closely at her, there is always a snake motif somewhere about her, on her person, her clothes, or something, or a tattoo or something, no matter what guise she wears.
Cool. And then Chris.
I'm Chris, he, him pronouns. I am playing Rose of Scarlet Coral, who is a sort of high-end courtesan in the noble districts of the city, who has happened to have had their heart stolen by an imperial sorcerer. And outside of either of their knowledge, that heart is now in possession of Brandon's Black Jade. And in place of that heart is both a physical hole and a colony of scarlet coral growing, slowly infecting the body.
That'll be fine, I'm sure. And finally, we have Michael.
Yeah, so I'm Michael. I use he, him, or they, them pronouns, and I'm playing Crimson Moonlight, who's using he, him. And I'll use the villain playbook. And basically, my character is reborn. He loved Black Jade, but couldn't survive that love, and he died in the forest nearby, and was brought back by nature spirit, and who's now with me, and only I can see at the moment, at least. And to make it a bit more complicated, I'm now with the rebels, because we try to include that kind of conflict as well. That's shown in the novel. So I decided the faction is called the Eternal Nightshade Society. And what I haven't figured out yet is like why I'm back exactly. Okay. I'll just wait for a second.
Hey there, sorry about that. But yeah, I like to kind of wrap things up. This game is hosted through the Gauntlet. The Gauntlet is an online gaming community mostly focusing on role-playing games of the indie and no-star varieties. Besides publishing a zine called The Codex, it also puts out several podcasts about role-playing games. And of course, it organizes a gaming calendar, which this and many other games are organized through every month. The calendar is open to non-members, so feel free to jump on over there through the link below if you are interested in playing with any of the folks here tonight or any of the other people on the Gauntlet. All Gauntlet games make use of an open door policy. We are all here to have fun, and if something happens in real life or you become uncomfortable at the table, feel free to step away as long as you need. No one will hold it against you, and you're free to return whenever you feel ready. If you're able to let the group know if and when you expect to return, that would be helpful for the rest of us in terms of framing scenes. But we understand that sometimes emergencies happen and it's not always possible. We also make use of a few other safety tools, which I won't go into too much detail about because we have basically gone over them all already, and I'm sure many of the folks here have heard them a lot. We're making use of the X card. If something makes you uncomfortable at the table and you want it excised, you can make the X card. We won't ask why. We might ask what you want removed, but we'll take steps to remove it from the fiction and continue. We also are making use of Script Change, which is a tool that draws on the language of video editing to talk about safety. We'll pause is let's take a break, talk about where things are at. Fast forward is let's skip over this and move on to the next thing. Rewind is let's go back and retcon something in the fiction. And then there's frame by frame where we slow down and make certain that everybody is comfortable with the scene as with a difficult scene as we are playing. And then finally, we're also making use of lines and veils. Lines and veils are a tool. They are a living document that we set up before play begins and kind of check in on at the start of every session, which I'm actually going to ask folks to take a quick look there now. If you want to take a look over at our Lines and Veils tab and just make certain that everything is where you want it. And then just type OK to chat when you're done. Of course, if you want to change it at any point during play, feel free to. I'm usually only going to be looking at this at the start of the session. So if or if I need a refresher. So if you make a change during play, just like mention it in chat or by voice, and I'll check in to see what's been changed. Cool, and I see okays from everyone. So now with all that wrapped up, I think the first thing I want to get into now, and this is actually probably something I should have asked at the end of last session, but one of the things that we have in Hearts of Wulin are these relationships called entanglements. They are complicated relationships with two other people, and at the start of each session, we want to highlight one of them that we particularly want to see come into play. So if people could take a look down at their entanglements and highlight one of them. Usually I usually like to change the background for it to a different color, but you could also make it italicized or something like that to make certain that, or bold it to make certain that we know which is the current important one.
So, what is this distinction?
A highlighted entanglement at the end of the session gives you 2 XP if you interacted with it. The non-highlighted entanglement gives you 1 XP if you interacted with it during the session.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, there's no big difference. Cool. Okay, and I see everyone picked out their romantic entanglements to highlight. So that's thank you for that. So the thing where I wanted to open things because to kind of push things to a kind of some conflict and action early on. I'm wondering if the place that folks are cool with opening things is, I mean, I feel like given some of the setup that for things that would push folks together is that we are opening on the declared day of Ninth Raven's execution. If is that like a okay?
I'm just glaring at Rose of Scarlet Coral.
Oh yes, I'm sure that'll be fine. But yeah. So I think where we want to open things then is. Actually, I don't think we ever gave our kind of city a name. Do folks want to randomly come up with something, or does someone have an idea for a name for our city? Because otherwise, I'm sure there's a. Here we go. Does Tangshu or Taeje work for folks? Cool. I'll go Tangshu. So as we open on the streets of Tangshu, there is. It is something of, this is something of an event that is being carried out by the Imperial Guard. Because after all, this is the capture of a known accomplice of the rebel cause in the city. And as the gathering has of like the town citizenry to the central kind of square, I'm curious. Yeah, we'll go with Black Jade here. Oh, I'm just looking at her names here. How has Silver Willow made sure that this is going to be a what's the word here? Oh, I'm just suddenly blanking on the word. A grand affair.
This arrest.
This execution.
It's execution. The Silver Willow, who is Crimson Starlight's ex-bodyguard and now works for Jade Starlight, as I understand, she has made sure this is a grand affair by having musicians and then a poet who has commissioned a poem to announce the rightness of this and the triumph of the the righteous authorities against a criminal mischief with which poem will which copies of which poem will then be posted prominently in certain places around the city so that the public can read them.
Mm-hmm. Great.
So there's a very the poet reading them as a a voice that carries easily across the whole square. So it's not simply a simple denouncement, but it is this elaborate flowery denouncement that inspires, that they hope will inspire people to to follow the law and lose sympathy for the rebels who have committed these terrible crimes.
Mm-hmm. And Crimson Moonlight, as we see our Ninth Raven, dressed as a prisoner, but still with a set of white flowers placed in her hair. What is the manner of her execution to be?
What do you mean by manner?
There are a lot of ways to execute someone. I'm wondering, method.
She's probably being burned alive.
Oof. They really want a spectacle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And among the crowds dancing Magpie, how can we tell that there is unrest among the people at this spectacle?
I feel like, there's vocal protests.
Mm-hmm.
Which get quelled down when the guard get, sent after them. But, there's the looming threat as well. As, the guards are surrounding the square or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And rows of scarlet coral. What moment do we see that we know that the guard will take any steps necessary to ensure the peace at this event?
I think we see. It's a very sort of I think we take a point of view camera and we see someone winding up to throw something towards the fire, and then someone walks in front and they're just gone.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. And so I'm wondering, I actually, like, I know that Black Jade is probably alongside Silver Willow, as you are Silver Willow's sort of bodyguard for the moment.
Well, Silver Willow doesn't need a bodyguard, but I'm there. I mean, I'm the household's sort of factotum.
Oh, I see. Silver Willow is okay. I was getting a little bit confused here. Silver Willow is Jade Starlight's current bodyguard.
Yeah.
I see.
Yes, and I'm a trusted and devoted servant, so I might well be by Silver Willow, in the event that Silver Willow, requires something.
Mm-hmm.
Some has some task to send me on, and I like being around Silver Willow. So
Cool. And I wanted to check, Rose of Scarlet Coral. Do you think that you would be among the Imperial Court present, or do you think you would be more among the crowds today?
Today, I would be among the crowds because I am.
Oh, but no, you're the one who has made the accusation, though.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I'm an informant. I've secretly made the accusation.
secretly, but Dancing Magpie knows.
Of course. She's a very intelligent person, well connected. Of course she knows. But yeah, I think I'm in the crowd trying my best to get to Dancing Magpie.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So I think that we will come to that scene in a moment. But I think as we are as we are seeing on Black Jade. So you are here as a servant today?
Well, that is an interesting question. So one question I would have is whether I know that Ninth Raven is Dancing Magpie's sister, and she is my friend, and it occurs to me that I would want to rescue her, as ridiculous and terrible thing as that would be.
Cool. So do you think you are here still with the court, or do you also think you are hiding among the crowds?
No, I think I am being a member of the Imperial Court.
Mm-hmm.
A prominent, influential one who up to this time hasn't said anything. Who isn't actually here, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't sent as part of the Imperial delegation, but just joined them, saying, I'm sorry, I was, excuse me, my departure was delayed.
Cool. So I think that what we are going to open on then, I'm curious, because just so I know what to call you, who is this noble you are pretending to be? There is a list of names, I think, to pick out over from the entanglements and names, if you need something.
Always, I'll keep it handy. The Iceblood name is a great name, and I must use it.
Okay, which one is Iceblood Ning? Okay, I see.
Yes.
Let me just make a note of that for myself. I think among the court attending, I think as you are watching on this spectacle, you see moving through the crowd of courtiers is a man wearing dark robes and a wide hat that covers his eyes. His hands move with a slight tremor to them constantly, as if they're always playing out some calculation or or calculation or melody, Black Jade. And I think that you definitely recognize him as Father Locust, the sorcerer who traded you the heart. But I think that what you notice in particular is that he has drawn close to Silver Willow and is whispering into his ear and pointing towards the pyre that has been prepared for Ninth Raven. What do you do?
I am.
And I should note as well, if that does not.
I absolutely no. I desire either to listen in, or if that does not thing, then to ask Silver Willow to speak to Silver Willow after, depending on how. I don't wish to. I cannot risk a confrontation with Father Locust, but I either wish to hear what he is saying if I can, or else to speak to Silver Willow afterwards if I cannot.
Oh, I think you definitely can listen in on what they're saying. I think this will probably be. I'm thinking here. This will definitely be a study roll here.
Okay.
It could also be some inner conflict as well. We might see. We might push it there once we get to the roll. Once based on the results of how the study goes, Jolene. But thank you for bringing that up. But yeah, what element do you think you're drawing on here, Black Jade?
I think this is focus. I'm trying very, very hard to screen out what's all the rest that is happening, and just pay attention.
Cool.
Try not to worry about what Father Locust's presence here means.
Yeah, and I don't have...
That is a flat, beautiful miss. Look at that. What a way to start.
All right, wonderful. So, yeah, I can definitely tell you because I think you do hear, but this is what you hear as you listen in. Crimson, or Father Locust, is whispering into you, like you hear it with your, I assume, sort of superhuman senses that go beyond the human. And Father Locust is whispering, I care not what you do with the rest of Ninth Raven. Burn her, throw it away. It does not matter to me. What I require is the flower among her hair. Bring that to me, and I know a way to restore Crimson Moonlight and right all the wrongs done to you and his family. And I think you notice, as he's whispering, a locust crawls out of his mouth and scurries away into Silver Willow's ear.
I am filled with terror.
Is this an inner conflict here now?
I think so, sure.
Because, of course, you are in disguise.
Yes, but Father Locust might penetrate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So inner conflict. Well, anything but your style. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that I'm rolling here. Pardon me, getting used to this here. I think this is rolling with control, which is not one of my best things.
I mean, that's just. Oh right, you mark XP before you roll on this. You just get it, regardless of what you roll. So mark it now.
Okay. Miss.
Do you want to use a bond? Right.
Yeah. You got a 6, so you could spend a bond now to mark you up to a.
I have a bond with Silver Willow, and so I will. I will do that in order to keep it together. I still have to mark an element.
Cool.
And I'm marking metal because it just makes sense.
Awesome. So I think as you see this conversation end, a slight, like you see Silver Willow's eyes become clouded a little bit, and we'll come back to what action you take going forward. But I wanted to shift over to, I'm curious, Crimson Moonlight. I know that you, among your bonds, you have promised to help your rival Dancing Magpie. Do you think that we see you accompanying Dancing Magpie among the crowd now?
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to help her rescue her sister.
Cool. Dancing Magpie, then, as we open on this day of execution for your sister, where do we see you among the crowd?
She's not like in the front, but like she's making her way towards the front, just like pushing past people. It's like just like stone faced, so angry. But yeah, she's moving closer to the front because she's gotta tear some shit down.
Great. And do we see Crimson Moonlight following after? How does Crimson Moonlight feel about all this? Because you are your husband is here watching over the procession of events.
Yeah, I imagine that getting what's her name again, Ninth Raven, out of danger is like the primary concern of his now. Mm-hmm. And basically, since he hasn't revealed to be back from the dead yet, He's like in disguise, so maybe with a big hat and a veil, and walks past Dancing Magpie. And he's a villain. That's a playbook. And
Right.
he's still your rival, and he probably says something like, it's a shame. Usually I do enjoy a good execution.
And it's just like the narrowing of eyes as she like looks over, like, you. Just like all ready to throw hands right then and there. And you're not enjoying this?
Well,
considering your past, that seems interesting.
now I feel like having a conflict. Being called out.
I'm actually wondering, because you sort of immediately opened with, well, usually I do love a good execution. As you're watching her sister's execution, you have Crimson Charm when you behave in an aggressive way towards a friend or companion.
Yeah.
With taunting, harsh words for shutting them down.
That's true. I picked that for a reason.
Are we friends?
Your companion at the moment.
That's fair.
I wasn't sure if that applies to PCs, but...
No, it applies to PCs,
everyone,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, everyone.
Okay, fair enough. Let's do it. So you may realize that I'm not that serious. Not
So
really
let's see.
taunting you.
Or that there's a tender heart beneath it all.
Let's go with... Maybe...
yeah. Granting Mountain's probably there with me too, so they can... She's
Cool.
like all ready. She's even more ready to throw hands.
Yeah.
So I'm choosing my words carefully, and let's see how that turns out. Oops.
Well,
That's a 10.
yeah.
I think Grinning Mountain looks at you, and before we get this roll, says, "Why are we traveling with with these scheming bastards from the Eternal Nightshade Society exactly?"
Yeah, and like there's like the moment of like, there's the clenching of the fists, or like the clenching around the handle of the umbrella, but then like, she's hearing the words and then studying him more, because it's all an act for him.
Mm-hmm. And so you got a 10, yeah.
Yeah, he's exactly what he wants people to believe. Or he's not what he wants people to believe. That's
I think, yeah, Grinning Mountain looks at you and nods and grumbles. You see the best in people, Dancing Magpie, I suppose. But if you want me to punch him, like, you just have to give me a wink.
not yet. But I'll keep that in mind.
But you get a bond on Grinning Mountain, Crimson Moonlight for that 10+.
Yeah. I think I could choose either one, but Green Mountain seems appropriate.
Oh yeah, you already have one.
Oh yeah, you could also get a bond with Crimson Moonlight if you wanted.
You mean me?
Yep.
And not Crimson Moonlight, yeah, with Dancing Magpie. And I'm curious, Rose of Scarlet Coral, you said that you were pushing your way through the crowd trying to get to Dancing Magpie?
Yes, I was. Sort of, as stealthily as I can, because obviously if I approach straight out, I'll get decked. I think I'm trying to find Dancing Magpie alone, which is getting more and more difficult.
Well, I mean, I suppose if somebody were to make a distraction for either Crimson Moonlight or Dancing Magpie, they would have to go off on their own, wouldn't they?
I suppose that would have to be. Is that a move that you're implying?
Oh, I'm implying. I'm wondering what is Crimson Moonlight or Dancing Magpie's plan to try to free the sister here.
Magpie's plan is to rush right up there. Like, nobody can get in her way. Like, she sees the goal. Once, like, she sees her sister being brought out, I'm like, no. I will race up there past all the guards. Fight our way out. She may be a good teacher. She's a terrible planner.
So yeah, I will give then a moment here, Rose. You see Dancing Magpie, and she has the look of someone who is going to pick a fight here, to rush in regardless of the consequences. What do you do? But she is also with Grinning Mountain and this mysterious figure clad in black. I think you said with like a tall black hat and veil is the way you described yourself, Crimson Moonlight.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know. Here, I'll do this because I don't have any good ideas, but I will ask Dancing Magpie, what sign, what thing could you find like at your feet on the road that you would know is a sign to come and find me?
Oh shit.
I mean, if we're going very wuxia, that this could literally be like a handkerchief that you have let go into the wind that has, by seeming destiny, fluttered to the feet of Dancing Magpie.
That sounds perfect.
Mm-hmm.
What sign on it do we would let Dancing Magpie recognize it as a message from you, Rose?
I mean, I think the actual rose would be too obvious. I think it's whatever my sign was before my heart was taken. That is not part of my persona anymore, but that's how Dancing Magpie knows me.
Simpler time.
Like a lotus blossom or something.
Yeah, sure, something like that. A different flower,
right?
Let's say. Used to be purple themed.
Cool. But yes, Dancing Magpie, this flower, this handkerchief marked with, you recognize it as Rose of Scarlet Corals.
Mm-hmm.
Old sign has fluttered to you as if by chance, but could it be just chance that she would let her handkerchief find you?
It sounds like you're trying to and it makes sense to roll inner conflict.
I mean, that or Rose of Scarlet is making a very indirect hearts and minds here with the dropped handkerchief.
I think that might be what's happening.
Okay.
Does that work for you, Dancing Magpie?
Totally.
Oh, this is my favorite hearts and minds ever.
God, I love this game. I love the way that it just binds you into the genre without you even noticing. Where is Hearts of Mine? Oh, it's right down here. Or PCs.
Yeah, you'll still pick. Well, I guess just to check in, do you think that you are susceptible to Rose's words?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's responsible for a lot, and I love her.
Uh-huh.
But I love her.
Cool.
Or, no, them. Sorry.
Yes. I would say that, I don't know, which of these is the most indirect element?
I would say metal is kind of calculation and control.
All right.
But yeah, earth is also like caution and is also caution.
Yeah, I think this is very much like I am acting out of caution. I don't want to be seen near. So let's roll. That's a 4.
Nice.
Oh.
The dice know this is the first episode.
Yeah, let's see.
There's no miss on this move.
There's always a miss.
Just a hard move.
Yeah, it's a hard move.
Yeah. It's not up to me, is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
It is funny how, like, Inner Conflict says, the GM will make it worse. I'm like, that's normally a miss, so...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's supposed to. Sometimes on a miss, the GM will make something else bad than this
Yes.
thing you did. Whereas for inner conflict, it's always the conflict.
As the handkerchief lands in your hand, Dancing Magpie, and you recognize it as the sign of Rose, another hand falls over yours. And we recognize it as a man that I should actually ask, when you were saying you were Iceblood Ning, do you see Iceblood Ning as femme masque?
Iceblood.
Neither.
Iceblood Ning is masculine, but he actually likes to wear a mask.
Okay.
He wears his features are somewhat ordinary, but he likes to wear this kind of smiling mask. But everybody, because it is frightening.
Yes. It is a man in a smiling mask, much similar to the one standing up among the crowds. Not up among the crowds, up among the nobility. And he takes the handkerchief from your hands, Dancing Magpie, and says to you, "Now why would my little bird, Rose, be trying to call upon you, young lady?" And Rose, I'm just going to make a GM call here that Iceblood Ning is your handler among the secret police.
Yeah, I've given them a name. They are the Bureau or Ministry, whatever suits your fancy, of Ornithology.
Wonderful.
Your birds.
Yes.
Who would that be?
A sweet little bird that sometimes likes to keep her thorns hidden.
Perhaps she just dropped the handkerchief. It means nothing to me. You can take it. I think now I have to roll inner conflict. Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, inner conflict, or you are I mean, this is also a revelation because you are also finding out that Rose has a spy master.
Yeah,
presumably. Yeah. That's fair. We can. That's what you're rolling inner conflict for.
They're not just a courtesan that just was petty and jealous.
Yeah.
Well.
Sure, if you want to make an inner conflict roll here, that seems cool
I
with
mean,
me.
I guess impress. I don't know. Does impress make sense? Like trying to.
I was going to say
convince them?
impress, but more overcome.
Yeah, I
When
didn't
you
know
do something
because-
under pressure,
Mhm.
which in this case is, I assumed, because otherwise he is going to want to have a chat with you somewhere more private
Yep,
and
all right.
secret.
That's fair.
A bad chat.
Overcome makes sense. Let me look at my elements. I feel like water? I was like, oh, this is a spy master. This could ruin everything if things go bad. So,
Sure.
Yes, wisdom, absolutely.
yeah, gotta be pretty clever. So, all right.
And if it goes poorly, I can assist.
I
Yep.
have a 9, so
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, somebody could assist if they want it and bring you up to a 10.
That's really up to Dancing Magpie.
yeah. If you want to get me that out of that complication,
So, should I roll first, or should I tell you what I picture doing?
If you're spending a bond, you can just narrate it, right?
yeah, you don't need to roll if you.
Oh, I thought
Spending a
that
bond.
Yeah,
comfort.
I mean, in this case, you spend the bond to aid in some way, so it would be helpful to think about how you are actually helping here. Like when you're aiding your own role, when you're aiding your own roles with bonds, you don't usually need to spend the narrate. But I do think that it's. I might just be misremembering things here.
Yeah,
So
no,
I
you
think
still
that there's
narrate.
two-
It's just you spend it and give a +1 to somebody
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't I have to roll comfort or support?
No.
No, you can if you want, but that's just to generate the bond to
Oh, I
to,
see.
to
I see.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
different way to also spend. You generate it and spend it immediately.
yeah.
Okay, I see. Interesting. So basically, what happens is that while you're having that conversation, and you're doing well, obviously, but Icebloodning is maybe not fully convinced. Suddenly, a small street kid runs into him and steals his purse. And then he notices, and he has to deal with that. And when you look back, you see Crimson Moonlight standing quite a bit away, but waving at you.
I think that he looks well. No, of course you can't tell because of course there's the mask, but there's definitely the sound of of annoyance. I have too little time to waste upon my birds' dalliances. I have too little time to waste on my birds' dalliances. Keep your token of affection, young miss.
Thank you, but that child is getting away.
He will not escape for long, I can assure you. Let her know that Iceblood desires her.
Them.
And he departs into the crowd. Rose, did you overhear any of this?
I mean, I don't think I heard any of it, but I think I can guess from Ice Blood and Dancing Magpie talking at all, ever, that what the subject must be. Also, Rose uses they them pronouns.
Oh, right. Sorry, they, them.
Yeah, it's fine.
My mistake. I forgot. But cool. So then I wanted to shift back to what is going on at Black Jade, because you had steeled yourself and were capable of taking action. I think that as you were steeling yourself, that you hear the voice of Jade Starlight ring out. We commit now this cohort of the rebellion, Dancing Magpie, who has been judged guilty by the words of those among you who know where your true loyalties should lie. That she must be burnt to death, and make certain that her corruption of our cause is burnt away with her. Silver Willow, will you carry the torch that will light the fire? And I think you see Black Jade, Silver Willow still with that slightly clouded look over. And I think Silver Willow, what are Silver Willow's pronouns actually? I forgot to ask.
She.
Or are they over she, her?
She, her.
Silver, she picks up a torch and begins to walk with a slow step to the pyre. And I'm wondering what Black Jade does here, because you have an opportunity to act.
Yes. Well, first I have to call her. I have to get her called back.
Mm-hmm.
Before I can do anything else, and I can't just rush out there to her without everyone knowing that there's something terribly wrong. So I am going to go to Jade Starlight, and I'm going to whisper. I'm going to actually not whisper. I'm going to murmur to him in the way that Ice Bludgeoning does. Ice Bludgeoning doesn't whisper. He just speaks in this slow, ordinary tone, and he says, "Greatest apologies to Jade Starlight, but it is in the imperial interest that this woman be questioned before she is put to death."
You choose a poor time to make this demand, Ice Bludgeoning. Is there a reason you could not ask?
Intelligence has come to us at the last moment from one of our birds.
I think intelligence. There is always more games that you like to play, aren't there? I guess, are you making a Hearts and Minds here? Oh no, did I? Okay, I think Brandon is... Oh.
Hello, sorry. I don't know what happened there. I say, Well, a message has just come to us from one of our birds that bears further investigation if the prerogatives of the crown are to be properly maintained. Please accept imperial apologies for the interruption of your august and beautiful ceremony, but needs must.
I think this is definitely a hearts and minds here.
It totally is. And since Iceblood Ning is an important person, I think arguably this is causing misunderstandings. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Because so I am rolling with my presence, and that is a 10.
Cool. So yeah, when you on a hearts and minds, when you for NPCs, they bow to your words and do what you want. He
Place her in your safest cell and await the interrogator. I say with the easy confidence of someone who knows that their patron swings an enormous bat.
Mm-hmm.
And then I turn to him so he sees the smiling mask, of course.
Yeah.
And bow slightly to save his face.
And there's a glare in his eyes. I will do this. But this is merely an extension of her time.
Of course. We would not think of denying you the pleasure and rightness.
My husband is dead, and it is the responsibility of her or creatures like her, I do not know, that he has died. And she will pay for their crimes.
Oh my God! And I'm glad I have a mask on, so that I don't drop character in hearing that.
Yeah, and I see Jolene always reading for this. This definitely sounds like some inner conflict here.
Why not?
This is the XP. This is the XP cycle here. You want to push things to inner conflict.
Yeah, it's the heart of the system. Look, emotional turmoil. Yes, you're rolling it.
Yes.
So you get an XP.
Okay.
Oh, and also, Jolene, I know you didn't mark XP, but you always mark it even if you get a success.
I didn't roll inner conflict.
No, it didn't.
Oh, yes, you decided to
it was
keep
an overcome, right?
Right, an overcome instead.
So, logically, I'm rolling this with my worst attribute, which is water.
Cool.
Unless there's somebody else a reason otherwise.
I mean, you already marked control. I guess you could. Yeah, you can't use caution because that's your style.
Now also, the Scott. Right? It doesn't make any sense in this case too. And I suppose I could use patience if I take the long view.
Yeah.
I just have to get through this. Okay, I will try to do that. Remind myself that it doesn't matter. Wow, that's 2 snake eyes in 1 session, just this far.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he exceeds to what I'm doing, and
Yeah, he still gives you what you want.
it is all I can. It is all I can do, not to. So make things much worse. Go ahead.
I think that as he calls for the he calls out, "Very well, you shall have what you want." And he looks, there shall be a change to today's proceedings. The prisoner's life is to be spared for today alone. Silver Willow, you may place down the torch. And there's a moment where, everything is handled, Black Jade, right? But Silver Willow is still walking forward with the torch. And you remember that locust that crawled into their ear. And our sorcerer father locust is just staring at Silver Willow, his eyes glazed over, as if in concentration. And you hear Jade Moonlight calling again to Silver Willow. But Silver Willow is not doing anything, and is just appearing not to listen, and is just continuing through with the execution. Does that work? You totally get that should this be resolved, you will get what you want from Jade Moonlight, but there's also this. I'm not trying to take away what you accomplished.
Okay, I thought it would just be much worse for me because it's an inner conflict roll.
I see it. Inner conflict is that I make the situation. It is much worse for you because this is also who you're in love with.
It is true. It is true. I was just going to flee and mark annulment, but I can't stand it. I strike Father Locust.
Okay, so I think we're gonna see that. We're gonna see that, and then we're going to shift over to what is happening with the rest of the group, if that works for folks. Cool. What does it look like as you strike out?
It's I seize. There's a brazier there where the torch was lit, and I seize the tub bowl of the brazier, and I pitch it into his face.
Okay, wow. This is definitely a duel here.
I'm just trying to destroy his concentration, but if he fights, it'll be a duel.
Oh yeah. He will he will respond. Like, I think this is definitely like he raises up a hand, and I think that like with this kind of talons, kind of locked, like kind of equipped around one hand, he like grips the bowl as it comes towards him, like preternaturally, and skids several feet along the ground. Why, Iceblood Ning, it appears you are not yourself. He hisses, and then, like with a kind of wuxia spin, like sends it flinging back to you and into the stands of nobles.
Marvelous.
So I'm going to let you know he is of a higher scale than you. He is a powerful dark sorcerer.
Yes. I'm not trying to win this fight.
Yep.
I am just trying to break his concentration enough that Silverwillow comes back to her senses and obeys the direction, the very clear and specific direction she has heard.
Cool. So yeah, give me a roll here with your style element.
Okay. My style element is Earth. You're kidding me.
Oh no. Oh.
Wow.
Oh wow. This is just not...
I'm setting a record here.
So, here's the thing, that people can spend as many bonds as they want, I believe, to help you in a roll.
But there aren't enough bonds in the world. Well, I guess there might be, but
you would need 3.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. To declare how you lose.
I guess
there are 3 bonds don't exist.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, no one has a bond with Black Jade.
I mean, I think then as it goes crashing into you, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to, first off, mark an element of your choice.
Okay.
And as it goes crashing in, how do you like jump to avoid it?
I'm not sure I do jump to avoid it.
Okay.
I think I take the brunt of it.
Cool.
On that, it was. I mean, my move was a very self-sacrificing move. You know, and it that crashes into me, and I go down.
Yeah, it crashes into you, and you feel the mask fall from your face. And everyone can see that it is not Iceblood Ning beneath the mask now. It is the face of Black Jade. That's the miss here.
My real face?
The face that you wear as a servant.
Okay.
Does that work for you?
Whew, kind of blows my whole cover.
We can change that up a little bit. If you want instead to reveal your monstrous face, you can. I'll give you that choice.
Yeah, I think that's actually more interesting.
Cool.
Yes, Ice Blackening is secretly a monster.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he wears a mask. Serpent-eyed, fanged creature.
And Father Lotus is leaning into this. My Lord Jade Starlight, I take steps to protect you from monsters among those who you believe you could trust. And I actually want to shift over here, as he is proclaiming this, to Crimson Moonlight. Because Crimson Moonlight, you were drawn into the forest by a serpent creature, weren't you?
That's true. Although, Brandon, did I actually know that? Did you reveal yourself?
That was a serpent creature? No, I pretended to be a peasant girl.
I will ask though, because I feel like this is the time for some like wishy logic here. What about this demeanor of the serpent reminds you of someone of the woman in the woods you fell in love with?
That's good. And basically, I probably have figured out that I wasn't killed by natural causes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
No. In fact, you at one point. You remember I was sitting over your bed as you were dying, apologizing to you, saying, "I'm so sorry, my love. I never intended this to happen." So it was quite clear that I caused your death.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's something about the heart knows.
Yeah. So, what could that be? Maybe this.
Maybe it's the eyes that are this. Yeah.
Yeah. There's this. Obviously, I'm a bit away, but still, the way you look and you feel. Well, that's at least what I perceive as like as a hideous creature with kind of sad eyes at this very moment, And I remember, I've seen this expression before.
Oh, what do you do then, Crimson Moonlight?
I'm definitely conflicted now. What to do?
Okay, let's roll some inner conflict here.
Because there's several ways to handle this situation. Let's see. And I think passion applies to the situation, because I see Father Locust and my husband and Black Jade, although I don't know that name, but I realize, okay, this is a person I've met before and I have a relation to. So let's see. That's a 12. So I can keep my cool. Currently.
Yeah, you keep your cool, and I guess here is like, yeah. I guess the question here is,
What's the right way to deal with the situation?
Yeah, we haven't actually seen them. Shulong. And I think, what does Shulong look like as they, or what does Shulong sound like as they whisper into your ear?
So basically, they are kind of nature spirit and plant-like. So maybe it's like rustling of leaves. And it's obviously a voice I can hear and talk to, but it's a bit creepy and not too commanding or loud, but yeah, like rustling leaves.
It is always love with you, isn't it, Crimson Moonlight? What destroys you? It is a fool's errand. Save Raven and be done with both these fools. But if you must reveal your face, that should, to the one upon the throne now, that should cause quite a stir, don't you think?
So, as a player, I'm almost inclined to roll in a conflict, but that might be too much. And I think that's
We'll have to advance the story a little bit before I ask you to roll again.
yeah. So I think I agree with them, and I say that is actually helpful. I might just do that. And
Of course it's helpful. I'm far wiser than you, Crimson. I haven't even died once.
I've just died one time. And basically, I'm going to rush forward to intervene. And we can cut to another scene or deal with it. I'm fine.
Yes. Because among the stuff that is going on, I do want to focus upon Rose. Because Rose, you saw the handkerchief being taken up by, I forget, we already rolled inner conflict for you, right?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think
No,
so.
it was, yep.
Because you saw the handkerchief being taken up by your handler among the secret police.
Yeah,
Is this
inner conflict.
like? And he was talking with with Dancing Magpie. Do you think that this is who you love? Do you think? I mean, do you think this applies here?
100%.
Cool.
I don't know why we didn't do it at the time.
Yeah.
That is a 9 on the dice.
Cool. So would you like to spend a bond, or would you like to just mark a elementary?
Let me double check what 10 plus gets me.
10 plus gets you holding firm holding firm. Yeah.
All right, I bond with. Oh, I bond with Dancing Magpie. Cool, nice and easy. So that's. I hold firm.
Mm-hmm.
And mark an XP.
cool. So I think as you hold firm, what holds you together is that you feel it then as you're holding firm. The power that you remember, the only thing you remember, in fact, from that night that you lost your heart and became cursed. The skittering of insects over your skin tickling you. And your eyes are drawn towards Father Locust. I think you know that whatever is happening to you now, it's because of him.
Okay. And just double check. He was speaking with Black Jade.
Yes, he is among the nobles, and he has unleashed his power and has flung a brazier into Black Jade, and is now saying, "Look, I've revealed a monster to Jade Starlight, because that was entirely his plan all along." Sure.
Uh-huh. I think the ornithologist in me is going to rush up to Black Jade and try and provide comfort, or like get her out of there into the crowd. I want to be the first helping hand that she gets.
Oh, cool. I think that that's definitely something that, like, I feel like that's definitely going to be inflected by what Crimson Moonlight and Dancing Magpie do. So are you cool with coming back to what happens there in just a second? Cool. Because Dancing Magpie, you've heard these calls and the fight break out, but
Yeah, no. Silver Willow
yeah.
still advancing
Yes.
with the torch. Yeah, no.
Exactly.
Not today, Satan. I am up there.
Yes. What? How? Like, describe to us as you make your fighting entrance here.
Oh
Dancing
yeah,
Magpie.
I just do it's sort of like an anime thing, just like barrel past everyone, because I'm a storm rider. I can
Yep,
see it.
you can
I
go
can get
anywhere
there.
in the. Yep.
And just like bam, just like jabbing, like swinging the umbrella to knock the torch out of her hand. Right,
Mhm.
Silver Willow.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta free my sister. That's the main goal. So I gotta cut her free. But yeah, shit's hit the fan.
Yeah. The torch cracks against your umbrella, and it is uncanny the way that Silver Willow kind of bends backwards to catch the blow and then flings back up against you. Silver Willow right now is not moving like a regular mortal human. They're moving like a person possessed by a spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Like with this strange flexibility and joints moving not the way that joints should.
Well, she's a problem. But if I free my sister, this will be a lot easier.
Yep. So this is definitely a duel here. Just saying.
No
and
problem.
Silver Willow is on the same level as you,
All right.
even though they are possessed.
Yeah, Alright. What is my style? It's like a +1, I think.
Oh, and Brandon,
Wood?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wood.
Oh, your style, you didn't go with your best stat?
No, I know.
Interesting.
I'm risky.
Cool.
Sometimes I like to save that for inner conflict.
Yeah. I know that's the thing. Also, I forgot to bring up Brandon. You get an XP whenever you lose a duel as well.
Oh, okay. I am racking it up.
Yeah.
More ways than
I
one.
think that only applies if you're on the same scale.
No, I think it's just you always like if you go to
Other moves, I guess.
the other moves. It says whenever you lose a duel.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, take
Like
loss
because
in a
it's not
conflict.
like yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's because like on when you're fighting someone of greater scale, you always lose a duel, so you effectively
Yeah.
always mark XP.
Losing is
Okay.
learning.
That's cool.
All right. Same scale, +1. 6. Well, let's see.
Oh man, these rolls today.
I have bond. Who do I have a bond with? Oh, Rose and Skydog.
You can. It doesn't. Yeah, you don't need to. It doesn't need to be on someone present in the scene. You're just
Okay,
drawing on
so-
the energy of that relationship.
Right. This is all Rose's fault. This is like, God damn them. How dare they? If they hadn't been petty, if they weren't apparently a spy. Alright, so yes, I'm spending that bond as I think of Rose, and I'm like just like getting angrier. I'm like, no, gotta center myself as I see the torch, and like, you know, the umbrella opens and bat to the side. I don't know what the 7 or 9 results are. I'm just narrating.
Yeah. So on a 7
Wrestling
to 9,
moves, so.
you get to. That's cool.
Yeah.
On a 7 to 9, you choose one. You get to either win at a cost. You get to narrate your loss. So in that case, you lose, but you get to decide how you lose. Or you deadlock, and you may reveal a detail or ask a question about them.
Okay. So I mean, like winning. It's not always everything, but like, I kind of want to save the sister.
Yeah.
So.
Winning at the cost probably makes the most sense here.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So yes, I will do that. So I choose one of these.
Yes. You either mark an element, they escape, you lose reputation, or some other cost.
You're rescuing her right in the middle of a giant crowd of people. Reputation is certainly a possibility.
But she's wearing a veil. How
You got
could
a
anybody
veil,
know who
Black
she
Jade.
is?
That's true. I forgot about that.
Only important named people can recognize this thing.
Yes, exactly.
I will mark an element.
Cool.
I will mark. Well, I wasn't very controlled today, so I will mark metal. But the important thing is, like, you know, we're doing the back and forth of like she's doing crazy unnatural dodges as, like, you know, we're swinging the umbrella, popping out, spinning around, and like there's a little, like, you know, at the tip of the umbrella there's a little blade, so I'm able to swing it down to cut the bonds of Ninth Ravens, so she can like free herself and get off that pyre.
It took you long enough, Matt. It took you long enough, Em. I nearly was going to end up with a rather unbecoming tan.
There's a lot going on, Raven.
I suppose you're going to want some help with this one. And she like whips out like the rope that you had just cut from her and like kind of wields it like a whip.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you just want to stand there and watch? This is what I warned you about getting involved with these people.
You don't have to be such a big sister even when we're in the middle of a fight.
Well, one of us has to be, because you're not doing a good job at it.
And I think you're just continuing this fight while this is going on, while you're having this argument.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you narrate to me how you actually kind of finish the fight with Silver Willow here?
So yeah, and like once Ninth Raven gets involved, is a little because Silver Willow's got to do unnatural defenses on two fronts now. But like we managed, like the rope knocks the torch free, and then like it's just like a smack on like the one side of the head, and that's when like the locust like flies out of the ear.
Yeah, cool. And I think Silver Willow falls down drained. And I think this is when we're going to shift over to Crimson, Moonlight, and Rose. Crimson, you had rushed forward. What was your plan here?
So basically, I want to create a distraction. I wasn't aware that Rose of Scarlet Coral will help Black Jade. So this is something I will probably notice while running up to the nobles. And on my way, I probably shout to Grinning Mountain, "Watch this!" And it's just like any hero in those stories. He's able to use lightness and jump over several obstacles and land right in the middle next to the pyre. Obviously, the fight is going on, and I can see Dancing Magpie is doing well, and probably then I'll reveal myself, and I picture it like I take off my hat, and it's like a slow motion shot where the head flies and the veil is in the wind, and when it lands down, I'm fully revealed, and I call out to my husband. I'm not sure which move that might be.
This would be maybe Hearts and Minds. It could also be, honestly, an Impress here at this point.
Let's see. I mean, yeah, Impress, I think.
It depends. What are you trying to get happen here?
That's a good question. I was really aiming for creating as much chaos as possible to help Black Jade, but I think she's fine. So what would be my goal here? Probably to maybe warn my husband from the sorcerer. I'm not sure. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I think Impress works for me here.
Okay. So let's see. I'm using stats. This is not controlled. This is not patient. I think it's fire. Yeah, that's good. Ooh, it's 12. And basically, I shout out, Jade Starlight. I do appreciate the gesture. Of the public execution. But it's not necessary.
Oh, great. So what are the two options you're picking?
Okay, let's see. I think...
And you can pick options more than once.
Okay. I think I'll create a bond with Jade Starlight, and also gain a favor from him.
Cool.
And basically, I shout out, "Be careful not to trust that locust."
Mm-hmm.
And then probably, I suspect, stuff happens.
Yeah. While this is happening, I wanted to, because I'm gonna think on what Jade Starlight says in response here. Rose, you run beside Black Jade because, of course, this has made a stir to see the dead former Lord show up alive. What do you do as you come beside Black Jade?
If she hasn't already stood up, I will either get down, like squat down, or offer a hand and just say, "Fallen afoul of some powerful people, have we? You look like you need a friend."
I don't know who you are, but I have to trust you. Black Jade, having sort of clawed the mask back into place, the moment it slipped. You have a cloak. Do you have a cloak or a big flowery cape or train or anything?
I think I'm wearing sort of an outer cloak, but I think I do it. Like I am capable. I think what I'll do is just like undo the collar a little bit, just to show you the rock in my chest, and be like, as I said, I am a friend. I know someone who can help you. Follow me.
Well, as I said, and so, for reasons I can't explain, I instantly trust you. Because I'm in a tight spot, I duck under your cloak, and I come out as the servant, Black Jade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Give me a roll here, Rose, for first out comfort and support.
Okay, let's do that. You know what? This time I'm going to use... No, I'm using real dice. I will be rolling with... Well, that's a 10 on the dice, so it doesn't matter what I'm rolling with.
Unless you're rolling the -1.
I think this is water. I think this is me seizing an opportunity that I think this is me being flexible in terms of goals from this execution. I couldn't access who I want to, but this is a new opportunity.
Cool. So on a hit, you lift them up, and they may choose to give you a bond with them or clear a marked element. I can guess which one Black Jade might want at this point.
Yes.
So are you clearing a marked element, Jade?
Yes, I'm not frightened anymore.
Yeah.
The unexpected assistance has allowed me to regain that much center.
Yeah. And here's the thing, Rose. On a 10+, you may also clear an element yourself. Ask them a question they must answer, or give them a bond with you.
All right. So if it is a question, they cannot answer.
No, they must answer.
No, but if it's a question that does not have an answer, like for instance, why do you trust me?
Then actually, that's there'll be an answer.
Yeah, there.
Or what were you doing in the household of a lord?
I will answer the question.
Yeah.
I'll ask how you found yourself amongst the nobles.
I think this answer probably doesn't take place right there in the middle of it.
No.
But I'll answer it now anyway, because Black Jade looks at you and says, I came here looking for love and I found it. I came amongst those that I have wronged, and I found love there. And I look at Silverwillow.
You misunderstand. How did you get them to trust you? How did you get through their wards?
Wouldn't you trust me? I say, gazing into your eyes. And
Okay, I think we're gonna see here, because I feel like we're already approaching some new roles here.
Yes.
Because it's going to be its own scene later on, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's wrap up what's happening with Crimson Moonlight, because I think that I know what Jade says.
Yes.
Jade Starlight looks across the crowd at you and says, I don't know what to say, Crimson. I had buried you, but you are here before us again. I will allow this aid of the rebel cause to leave for now. And that shall be free. I just ask one request of you in return. To return to me, to stand by my side and love me as before. But of course, you know in your heart that you now love someone else as well. Actually, no, he says to love me and me alone. just to really make it.
Yeah, that's perfect. So that's pretty cool, because I imagine things settling down. There's no more fighting going on.
Yes.
And I really have a moment to contemplate, and I'm definitely rolling in a conflict.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly why I had him say this.
And I think, yeah, when I'm okay, let's roll first, and then I'll tell you what I'm thinking. What would be appropriate? This is definitely not calculated or reflected, and
and metal is your style element, so you couldn't roll it anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I think I'm not really aware of the consequences, so I'm rolling with water.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's -1. That's a 7.
So, do you flee, or do you mark an element to keep calm and stay in the scene?
I think so. If I rolled a mist, I definitely would have fled, and I think I will mark water and remain and stay and keep my cool.
Cool. What do you say then to his request?
I will. I probably walk towards him and I say, I will return to your side, my love.
Oh, and he kisses you. And I think we fade to black there with all that going on. And everything that that went on the first few hours, I want to kind of give us some time to do maybe a few sort of slightly quieter cooling off scenes outside of the action. We had already kind of opened on a scene that was going on between Rose and Black Jade. And so I am actually wondering, with where we kind of talked about this conversation going on later, where like, Rose, do you think that there is like somewhere you would have taken Black Jade?
I think it would be like my room in my brothel, just like a
Okay.
place where we'll be left alone for several hours.
I do want to ask, just to go with the. I honestly, this is just something that I've seen a lot of people take from Brindlewood Bay, and I'm just going to do it this time as well. Crimson Moonlight. What is an unexpected item that we find in Rose's room?
Wait, you asking me?
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
no,
I'm
no,
asking
okay.
everyone else to
Okay.
help decorate Rose's room for her.
Okay, now I get it. Sorry.
I can lead off if you want.
Sure, go ahead, Rose.
Never mind, I don't actually have it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everyone else except you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see.
So an unexpected item.
Or like piece of decoration.
I think there's like a really intricate, but also a bit creepy doll there with a porcelain face. It's usually probably rather for children, but for some reason they have one.
Dancing Magpie, what else do we see in Scarlet's room?
There's a very ornate flute that once belonged to Ninth Raven. So, it's like, be a better courtesan than me, huh?
And Jay, what's the last bit of unexpected item we find in Scarlet's room?
There's a little a tiny shrine with an ash of burnt incense.
And I should have actually asked this first, but I'm wondering, Rose, what is the general look of your room? Like, how does Rose like to decorate her room?
Okay. So I'm going to assume that this is based on the items here, not my professional room. This is more of like my personal.
Maybe
Depending on how high end the brothel is, this might also, it could be.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But so the general look of it is, very scarlet and very filled with ribbons. Everything's a sort of dark color. There aren't too many ornate patterns, but the curtains are like laced in such a way that the light falls, the same at any time of day. Stuff like that. It's very practical, but also very like it emanates how it's expensive, but it's trying not to look it.
Mm-hmm.
I could say that.
And yeah, and I think where we had left off, Rose had just asked, how did you get people to trust you, Jade? and you said, "Wouldn't you trust me?" or something like that, I believe.
Yes, I smiled. I smiled at her and looked into her eyes and said, "Wouldn't you trust me?"
Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering, Jade, is this a move here? Is this a Hearts and Minds?
This is Hearts and Minds move. Totally.
Okay.
It wasn't intended as one. But I am a monster, and some things happen.
An instinct thing.
It is an instinct thing.
Okay, that's interesting.
So I want to ask here, in terms of like, first off, what are you trying to have happen here? And I guess I'll ask if Rose feels like it would be interesting to be susceptible here.
Okay. What I am trying to have happen here is to have. The impulse behind it is to have Rose keep my secret, but it would be perfectly appropriate if Rose interpreted this as something else.
Okay.
As amorous interest or anything really.
Cool.
Have fun.
Do you think, Rose, that this would be something you're susceptible to?
I think if I wasn't, I wouldn't have taken her here.
Okay. Cool. So go ahead and give me a roll here, Jade.
I will. That's a 9.
Cool. So on any hit, I guess the thing you're asking for here is to keep your secret, but there could be other stuff as well. But I hear that's the main thing, and then we can see how yeah.
Yes. Is there a misunderstanding? Let me ask Rose if there's a misunderstanding going on here.
I think there is.
Okay, then it's a 10.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, it's a 10 then. So on a hit, they can mark XP if they do as you ask, and if they don't, they need to mark an element or spend a bond. So, Rose, do you keep the secret here?
I definitely keep the secret. I'm trying to puzzle out how I interpret what exactly is going on, because I think I know an obvious, I think I know a tactical flirtation when I see one. And
it simply may be that the Lamia is uncannily attractive when she focuses her attention. So you can interpret that as entirely as hey, fall in love with me.
It definitely works.
Yeah, I think
say that.
The pressure might be that's like, yes, you must not reveal my secret because really you love me.
Yeah, no, it definitely works. Like whatever cocktail of magics is going on with you holding my heart and me being
I literally have your heart.
Yeah, listen, I trust you so implicitly, and I will interrogate this later alone. But I think my response to that feeling of love that I feel is immediate defensive skepticism.
Wonderful.
So whether or not your moves are genuine, I'm going to go God, this city really has broken the both of us. You don't have to seduce me. You're already.
It sounds like you're already having some inner conflict here.
I really am. Let's see how that's a 6.
What element are you? What element are you?
I thought you didn't. I thought you rolled it straight.
No, you roll it with. You just can't use your style element.
Oh. This is passion. This is fire. Oh, that's my style.
That's your style element. Yeah.
Then let's go with Earth again, because this is definitely, again, very, very cautious, very controlled.
Okay, so you rolled a 6, but you can spend a bond if you want to bump that up to a 7. You also get to mark XP.
I'm deciding what that means. Sure, I'll mark a bond to mark an element.
Well,
My bond with Jade Starlight, which I don't even remember how they figure in my entanglements. God, the web we weave.
Jade, you are Jade Starlight's is an important person.
Right, yeah, so...
Yeah, and the thing is, you actually already do suspect that Black Jade knows about your curse as well.
Even though this is our first meeting.
Well, I think it's like your first in-person meeting, but but you've always had the suspicion.
Just a feeling. But yeah, I think what that bond represents is I noticed like one of Jade Starlight's marks of status on your outfit, like you're in an official capacity, and it just dawns on me what I've actually done. And that is the blast of cool water I need to hold my ground.
Mm-hmm. Right. And Musher, did you already mark the XP for rolling?
No. I only have one. So that's 2. Cool. There we go.
So yeah, mark the bond and then the element. And
I've marked Earth,
yes.
And I've marked the bond, and I'm out of bonds.
Yeah.
And yes, you do notice that. Yeah, Jade Starlight, of course, has. Black Jade, of course, has Jade Starlight's marks of employment. She has her employer. She has her employer's, badges on her shoulders.
Yeah.
And in addition to a subtle snake motif worked into the embroidery of her collar.
So I've seen you in your monstrous form. Do I? I guess I would know what you are.
Depends how much you know about.
Sorry, I'm trying to puzzle out. There's a lot going on here.
You saw that I had. You saw that I had. Right. That I had inhuman eyes.
Yes.
So you might not be able to make me from that, but.
No, but I'm also working with the secret police to ferret out.
It's true. I didn't know.
So I would probably know. But either way.
What do you say?
You'll need a new disguise if you want to get back out there.
This is my... Why?
They've seen...
They saw Iceblood Ning.
Yes. Iceblood Ning saw you. Ornithology is in that crowd. You are marked. You understand that?
This is a disguise where I am known and trusted. I can't take another. I won't be able to get close to certain important people.
Well, then you're lucky that I found you, because I have just the thing. And I will pull out a thing of foundation, is I guess a pot of makeup, and this is the glamour that I myself use to hide my curse. I will offer some of it to Black Jade and say, this will keep you hidden, but you'll need to keep coming back to me for more.
How does it hide me?
Magic.
It hides the aura?
Sorry, say again.
It hides the aura?
Yeah, it hides your aura. It will hide your eyes. Like mascara.
All right.
It will prevent what happened today, certainly.
I was fooled. but I didn't know what to do.
An execution is a complicated thing. I understand.
I was trying to help my friend, and then I was trying to help someone else.
We're all just trying to help. You haven't done anything wrong. You're not a monster for stepping out of the forest. If you want... Listen. What I am doing right now goes directly against several of my obligations. I'm doing it out of kindness. I believe you deserve a second chance.
I'll accept it, but that remains to be seen whether I do deserve it. I have to go now. That they will miss me.
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
It will last until the next full moon.
I owe you a favor.
Please, think nothing of it.
Oh. That is not possible. Then I will leave. Get back to where surely they are. Someone is looking for me.
Cool. And as we fade to black, I'm wondering where we find Dancing Magpie.
Probably like it's her, Grinning Mountain, Ninth Raven. Like they're bickering like as they're like traveling like down the road or whatever. I'm like, all right, we gotta like lay low, but you know the bickering will not end. These sisters will not let it go.
I am going into the woods, Magpie. Whether or not you think it's a good idea,
I mean,
Ninth Raven says.
Better than trying to insert yourself in the Imperial Court. Maybe if you were better at flute playing, you wouldn't have gotten called out so easily.
My flute playing is impeccable, I'll have you know. It is far better than your dancing.
I mean,
I think at this point, actually, who is it? Grinning Mountain says, I mean, I'm better at dancing than Magpie. Well, I think she looks down. I mean,
it is a metaphor. I think that's like it. Yeah.
This is why you don't understand the flute, Magpie. Raven says.
Yeah. Be careful.
I will, Magpie. I will. Magpie, I know that you don't involve yourself in the cause of the rebellion, but
that's not true. But
well, I mean, not involved in the way that clearly she is.
Yeah, look, sister, I'm involved in different ways.
I realize, but I've been working with the Eternal Nightshade Society, and they've shown me
it's just like a look to Grinning Mountain. I'm like, oh, god damn.
They've shown me things of what exists in the forest. There is power to claim there.
Yes, but power that we don't know how to control.
And she puts on her younger sister face, older sister, is why I'm asking for someone trained at the Temple of the Hidden Labors to enter the forest with me.
If Mother were here, you know,
Mother would have been in and out of the forest 5 times during this conversation. You know that.
Fine. And it's just like places the umbrella over her shoulder like a bindle as she starts like marching into the forest, just annoyed and muttering.
Is there anything else you wanted to do in that scene, or?
Yeah, no, because like I'm like I can't cover like. There's no real. It's just a fun scene.
Yeah, cool.
Because like.
Because I would say you could have inner conflict and have it interrupted by your traveling teacher there.
It's true, but like I didn't see a reason for it because like,
yeah,
I'm like,
fair.
no, this is too much fun.
Cool, that's
and
fair.
like I'm not trying to convince her not to do that because it's more fun to go along.
Cool, awesome, and cool. So as we fade on that, I wanted to get.
Wait, like
oh, go ahead.
One final comment along. And it's like, and what's wrong with my dancing? I want that to be the last line of the scene.
Yeah, Grinning Mountain kind of says it's very artistic, and you can hear the question mark in her in her voice. But yeah, Crimson Moonlight, where do we find you? I assume somewhere back at the palace.
Yeah. So I'm isolated, I'm depressed, I'm back home, got watermarked. So we definitely see him in his quarters.
With your permission, can I show up bringing you tea?
Sure, yeah, that'd be actually a good idea. So
Also, I want to clarify just before we get into this interaction. Black Jade, you are appearing in the form that Jade Starlight in disguise, not Jade Starlight, Crimson Moonlight in disguise fell in love with you in?
No, this is my servant form.
Yeah, but I think what we said last time was that Crimson had seen you as a servant while he was in disguise and had fallen in love again.
Yes, this is the form he fell in love with the second time.
Yeah.
Yes, just checking. I just wanted to clarify for everyone.
Very, very much so. I don't know. I didn't know he's been watching. So as far as I know, he's. It's just like, oh my gosh, go serve it. Go serve the revered lord's guest tea. Yes, and so I have no idea it's Crimson Moonlight until he opens the door of his room.
Oh.
I almost dropped the tea service.
That's a surprise.
Catch it only by long practice.
Uh-huh.
Oh, forgive me, Lord. You started startling me.
I'm sorry if I scared you.
No, sir. No, Lord. It is not for you to apologize to a servant. Please. The Lord thought you might like some tea.
That's very considerate of him.
Celebrate your return, I understand.
And he walks back.
She gave you a look that was a mixture of astonishment and maybe tinged by a little bit of horror before lowering her gaze appropriately.
So, and basically what the audience sees is that he's a bit surprised, and then he walks back into the room, waits for you to follow, and probably it's something I've only seen in movies. I've never seen this, or in TV shows, never seen this in real life, when someone has a conversation with someone but not really looking at them.
Mm-hmm.
So he stares outside the window. Maybe it's evening and the sun sets, and
I kneel and wait, since you obviously have something to say.
What's your name?
Black Jade, revered lord.
And what do you do for us?
I have the good fortune to be a servant of His Lordship Jade Starlight. I serve here at the home, and I am entrusted sometimes with important errands.
And then he turns around and says, I'll make sure you will only tend to me and be my personal servant.
As please you, good Lord. Although it is up to His Lordship to say, but I am happy to serve in whatever way is demanded of me.
So to answer your question, Stephen, I'm not feeling in a conflict, but I might want to trigger it for Black Jade.
Black Jade is certainly having a moment of difficult composure because the person she killed is back from the dead. So guess I should roll it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did I just uncheck metal so I could check it again? Okay, I'm going to roll. Although I'm going to roll with wood because I think curiosity enters in, because it's like, okay, this has obviously happened. How on earth could this have happened? I'm trying to rack my brain to see if I know any stories. My dice are perfect. They're perfect.
You just want to roll some physical dice?
Normally the dice roller is my friend, frankly.
So I think
maybe this one is just trying to establish my character in Starlight.
It's because you get XP on misses, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, you get XP regardless when you roll with.
I think when you roll and when you miss, you get another one.
Do you get an additional XP when you miss?
Or in a conflict.
I don't think so.
No, because you don't get XP on misses in this game.
You should, but
I'm pretty sure on that one. Well, never mind.
I can look it up, but I don't think that's the way it works.
I'm like 80% sure you don't get XP on failure.
Okay, maybe.
No, you just get rank. You just get rank.
Yeah. I think because in older versions they still did XP on a miss, but
Okay.
They did it for one shots.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that to kind of wrap on this, I think as we hear Crimson Moonlight saying that to Black Jade, we see that just outside the door is Jade Starlight. And he hears that and hears the desire in Crimson Moonlight's voice when he says that. If that works for you.
Oh, that is so appropriate.
That's brilliant. Is it like he stands beside the door? And
Yeah,
we
he's
don't
just
actually
about
see
to
him?
end. Yeah, the two of you don't know yet because we're coming up in the end here, and I just want to end on like that as a thing that's true rather than play it out.
Yes.
But cool, awesome. So yeah, we're coming up on the end here. So thanks everyone. Actually, hang on, we still have XP if that works for folks. Cool. So generally, there's XP at the end of the session. Black Jade, you have another question you also get to ask that is related to your that's related to one of your moves. So, Dancing Magpie for your entanglements.
Highlighted yes, other one no.
Okay. So that's 2 XP for you from that. Black Jade.
Both of them hit pretty hard.
Yeah, so that's 3 XP total. And then also for your roll move, did you complicate another PC's entanglement?
I did. And I.
Oh yes, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, so you get to unmark.
Yeah, I got to uncheck an element. Yeah.
Yep. And Rose for your entanglements.
Yes, both a lot. I've already marked it.
Cool. And then yeah, finally Crimson Moonlight.
Yeah. So I definitely played into my highlighted one and into the other one as well.
Yeah, so that's 3 for you as well. So that brings us to the end of the session. Thanks everyone for playing, and thanks anyone for watching. We'll be seeing you all next week.